A win so nice, England just had to do it twice. Yes, indeed, the Three Lionesses are once again champions of Europe, becoming the first ever nation to defend their crown in history. Welcome back to Beat Pantheon, and in today's video, we will be recapping the 2025 Women's Euros Final. After nearly a month of non-stop action on the pitch, the Women's Euros final came down to one final contest in an increasingly familiar encounter between Spain and England. As a result, anyone who has watched the previous encounters in recent years would have been privy to the fact of how grating this final would be, with the caution-first approach being taken by the Three Lionesses, whose primary aim would be to disrupt the rhythm and flow of the world champions and hit them on the counter for good measure. Keep that in mind for later. Unfortunately for Serena Wiegmann's side, at least in this moment in time in the first half, Spain weren't allowing for that to happen, with the latter keeping England pinned into their half for long periods of time in the first half, and even the rest of the game for that matter. The relentless manner in which Spain approached the game would eventually yield the all-important opening goal they were seeking, with Caldente hitting home from the Battier cross to put La Roja in control. The misery would be compounded for England due to an enforced exit for Lauren James due to an ankle issue that definitely didn't help make things easier for England in the rest of the first half. And if you've been following the knockout stages of the Three Lionesses throughout the tournament, you would know that it wouldn't take any genius level IQ to know that what was coming next in the second 45 was going to be something epic in terms of a comeback, because not even 10 minutes into the second half, England equalized effectively what was a miracle of Spain's own goal, scored by Woso this time, which Katakoi could have saved, but it seemed as though that she had miscalculated the ball's trajectory, which led to the fatal outcome of her side's lead being cancelled out. With things now back level, a war of attrition soon ensued, and England were expectedly in control of the game, and their opposition rarely found any rhythm as a result, which is saying something because, come on, this is Spain we're talking about. La Roja were now struggling excessively to play into England's half, given the latter's well-organized mid-block, and even when they did, they just could not find any way through on goal, because any inkling or sign of danger was being snuffed out, and it didn't matter who it came from, whether it was Putellas or Mateo Guijarro, which definitely did help to yield a few nervy moments for Spain that could have seen all their efforts come to naught had it not been especially for the defensive brilliance of Paredes. Such was the ambition of England and the likes of Bronze and Russo to get up the pitch and potentially give themselves the match winner. Come the end of the 90, neither side could find a winner, and we all know what that meant. Extra time. And this was needed, but unfortunately not even another 30 minutes plus even injury time could help to settle things, and you could just tell that they were tired legs all round, and players were just going down easily, winning fouls from the referee, who definitely could have done better, but thankfully, in terms of determining the outcome of the game, that never came to pass. So obviously, by the end of this, that meant one more thing was needed in order to settle the score in this final: penalties. Yes, indeed, it came down to the dreaded spot kicks, and the dread and dismay began immediately with the first kick, as Beth Mead, after scoring her penalty, had to take it again due to double kicking it thanks to VAR intervention, and had her second attempt saved by Katakoi. But thankfully, the former didn't need to worry too much, because apart from Spain's first taker Guijarro scoring, all of La Roja's penalty takers missed from the spot. Whereas for the Three Lionesses, they converted 3 out of their next 4 penalties, with Chloe Kelly, who else but her at this rate, being the one to seal the decisive kick to give glory and victory to England, who successfully defended and retained their Euros crown. And for La Roja, given that this was their first final berth in the Euros, this will sting quite a bit, especially considering that they were in the lead at some point in this match. But they will definitely take heart from knowing that not only are they still one of the best nations around, that they had to go and be pushed towards the very final extent of the game, going through 120 minutes plus extra time and penalties in order for them to suffer their first loss to England. So they should take some heart and some grace from that kind of an encounter to show just how much they're respected by their English counterparts, and hopefully they will not be too dismayed by the loss, especially given how narrow it was. But they'll definitely come back swinging and be just a little bit more ruthless in their gameplay, especially when it comes to facing off against England, who finally have their number. But I think Spain are still the dominant side on their day. I think if this match was played over 100 times, Spain would win the remaining 99, if not at least 90. That just tells you how good they are. So the team can definitely take a lot of commiseration and a lot of acumen in terms of how they played in this game, and they'll learn from it and become better, hopefully, as time goes on. Because with the end of the Euros, there definitely is one more major tournament that is on the horizon, and that is, of course, the World Cup. So all eyes will be turning to that for sure for Spain as they look to defend their crown. And they know, just based on this tournament alone, that the competition is getting thicker and thicker and better and better. And they will need to be on their best game in order to retain their crown come 2027. With an adoring crowd cheering on as Captain Williamson hoisted the silverware aloft, all of England's supporters in the stadium, be it the fans and the coaching staff, you name it, and at home, were celebrating wildly. And full credit must go to the team and of course their manager Serena Wiegman, who's gone and done it once again, leading her side to glory. Her players, again from the likes of Lucy Bronze, who eventually revealed that she was playing with a broken tibia, which shows you just how much of a grafter that she is, must get a lot of credit for the amount of work that they've put in here. And Wiegman in particular, the tactical nous that she made use of to inspire her players to another Euros crown cannot be commended enough. And honestly, she is undoubtedly one of, if not the very best international manager in the game right now, bar gender. And after all she has had to deal with prior to the tournament, this victory will feel especially sweet for her, and more power to her and her team for gaining this great achievement yet again. And with that, the Women's Euros has officially come to an end, and all in all, I think it was quite a nice tournament in my view, with some surprise packages and shock results that definitely kept us engaged throughout the entirety of the tournament. Shout out to Poland, Finland, Switzerland, and the likes. You guys really did the most. What was your highlight of the tournament? Let me know in the comment section below, and remember that the Copa America Femenina is currently going on, so go and support that too if you can. And also a massive congratulations goes out to the Super Eagles of Nigeria for winning the WAFCON on Saturday night. Thank you ever so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.